why you hate on me, nigga.
We don't understand.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing is getting money.
Show a nigga some
Them
love,
a hate
nigga.
for me, turn snake for me, and me said the devil is alive. Them a hate for me, turn snake for me, and they do me like Jesus Christ. Them a hate for me, turn snake for me, and me said the devil is alive. Them a hate for me, turn snake for me, and they do me like Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Spike them a hate for me, them a hate, them a hate, them a hate.
Tell your friends about me.
Ooh, people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody go crazy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, people.
Yeah, yeah!
It's a Sunday service. It's a Sunday service. I am your host, Bad Guy for Entertainer, aka Mr. Hate. Call me what you wanna call me, and this is Hate TV, the best place to be, where we can have banter, insult each other, still laugh and love each other, people.
Yeah, yeah!
Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. If you're new or existing to the channel, grand day to you. Whatever time zone you are located at, grand rising, grand afternoon, or grand evening, people always remember when you come over here.
I'm the president, I'm the emperor, I'm the king. I'm Michael Jackson, you Tito. Your ass belong to me.
And people, what do we do over at Hate TV? Well, I read your confessions, we can have pop culture banter, play a few games. All you gotta do is listen to my rants. Oh, Jesus. People,
Hello, motherfucker.
don't forget to hit that like, hit that sub, hit that follow, hit that share, hit that goddamn repost, and let me know that this is the best goddamn internet show you have ever seen in your goddamn life. People, listen to this right now. There are two rules and two rules only at 8TV. The first rule is do not piss off the host. People, I've banned like 15 people off this channel already. Yes, sent them to the Phantom Zone. Yep, cut it off. Go off. People, second rule. If in doubt, refer to first rule. And if you do not understand, you can slide into the comments and say, Mr. Hate, I do not understand the rules. People, I shall give you a good old slap and knock some sense into your noggin. Knock some sense into your noggin. People, link is in the description. The link is in the description if you want to submit your rant, your confession, your hot take. And people, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. The hate is flowing this Sunday. Oh, it's making me stronger. Yeah. Anywho, people, anywho. Let me get this up. You see that right there? Let me enlarge it. And people, it is Sunday service. And every Sunday, people, I like to jump online onto the internet and express my feelings, my thoughts. I treat the internet as if it was my personal journal, people. just to get shit off my chest. Ooh. And people, today's picture we shall be observing is this one right here, people. And art is subjective. When you look at a painting or whatever it is, you can come up with your own interpretation of that particular painting. And right now, people, on this particular stream, we shall be observing this painting right here. This painting, The Wanderer Above the Sea Fog, people. Oh, look at that, people.
I'm Michael
crazy.
Jackson, you Tito. Your ass belong to me.
I went crazy right there, people. You know what I mean? Gotta go crazy a little bit. Anyway, cut that shit off. What was I saying, people? What was I saying? This painting, The Wanderer Above the Sea Fog, people, by David Casper Friedrich. I think that's how you pronounce it in English. It's a French. He's a French. Not French, he's German, people. Daddy, yeah, slap some sense into me, people. Oh, got some sense into me right now. Got the sense into me. Anyway, The Wanderer Above the Sea Fog by David Casper Friedrich. This painting right here is tonight's representation of my hate, people. Oh, Jesus. This stream's topic, people. When friendships fade quietly, do you leave or stay seated? People, when you look at this painting, I'm going to tell you my interpretation of this painting. Because when I look at this painting, you see where he's standing. I've been in that position before. On my own, but on a mountain. High above the world. I know exactly how he's feeling and what he's thinking. So, when I look at this painting by Casper David, what's his name? Friedrich. Again, people, it's called The Wanderer Above the Sea Fog. When I look at this right here, and I look deeply at the picture and think to myself, when I critically think, because I got a brain, people, I use my noggin, you know. I got a brain inside my skull, you know. I'm smart. When I look at this painting right here, people, it captures a moment most people don't talk about. The quiet aftermath of separation. Look at it, people. Look at it. Look, let me get it large. Let me make it larger so you can look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh. Look at it, people. The man there. The figure stands alone. Elevated above a vast, uncertain landscape. He's not looking back. He's not calling anyone to join him. No. He's simply standing where his journey has brought him. That's what the end of a certain friendship feels like, people. Not dramatic, not hostile, just solitary. You know what I mean? You've climbed, changed, and reached a different vantage point. And suddenly the people who once walked beside you are no longer there. Look at the painting, people. Look at it. What do you see? What happened to the people that was next to you? Where did they go? Why aren't they beside you? They didn't go because they failed you. And it's not because you abandoned them. But when I think about it, it's because growth doesn't always happen at the same pace or in the same direction. You get me? Look at the fog right there, people. He's standing on the cliffside or on the mountaintop, above the fog, above the sea. What does what does the fog represent, people? What does it represent? Let me tell you my interpretation. What I think. This is my story. The fog below represents everything that's unclear. Unanswered questions, unspoken goodbyes, the what happened. The what happened that never fully resolves. Look at the picture, people. Look at it. Look at the wanderer. The wanderer doesn't fight the fog. He accepts it. He understands that clarity comes with elevation, not explanation. Bars, people. Shit. Bars. All bars. And people, friendships sometimes end the same way. You don't argue, you don't announce it, you just keep moving forward until distance quietly forms. And standing alone at a higher place can feel isolating. But it's also honest, people. You can't drag people up past they are not ready to climb. Well, look at this painting, people. And again, I'll say, art is subjective. What story, what interpretation do you get from looking at a painting or whatever art medium, whatever it is? Even it could be music. But when I look at this right here, I don't see a man that's lonely. I don't think the painting is about loneliness. It's about perspective. It reminds us that solitude can be a byproduct of growth, not a failure of connection. Sometimes friendship ends because one of you kept on walking and the other chose to stay where it felt familiar. So, people, the question is, when friendships fade quietly, do you leave or stay seated? And people, on that note, I'm going to do a premiere of my new video. You're going to watch the premiere. Yeah, I'm on my B-bag. Let's watch the premiere of this video right here, people. I'm going to go get my beanbag over there. You know what I mean? And people, let's watch this. Let's see if it comes with it. Hold on. Yep, people, you ready? Are you ready? Toot the horn.
Yeah, yeah! Yeah, yeah!
Oh, let's watch this. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Some relationships are meant for chapters, not lifetimes. Internet people, I hate to say this, but sometimes friendships must die. Oh, Jesus. Not dramatically, not with arguments or fallouts. They die quietly through distance, neglect, and a slow realization that you're no longer part of someone's life in a meaningful way. They still call you brother, sister. They still like your posts, still talk about loyalty in theory, but when you look at their actions, people, you're nowhere in the picture. No one asks how you're really doing. No one checks in when life gets heavy, and boy, people, life does get heavy. You start to feel like a memory instead of a priority. That doesn't always make them bad people. No. People grow, lives shift, but relationships are built on presence, not titles. If someone never makes space for you, never involves you, never shows concern, eventually you have to ask yourself why you're holding on. Friendship shouldn't feel like an audition. There's a point where you realize some connections were seasonal. They served you when you needed them, and maybe you served them too, but staying loyal to a dynamic that no longer feeds you is just self-abandonment dressed up as loyalty. So you let it go, not with anger, not with resentment. You move on quietly and stayed focused on your mission, because every time you evolve, your circle has to evolve too, and eventually a new set comes. People who don't just call you family, but act like it. Ooh. Ooh, there you go, people. That was the premiere of my new video. It's gonna launch tomorrow, so check that out tomorrow. It's gonna upload to the channel tomorrow. But there you go. There's the premiere. And the question again, people, when friendships fade quietly, do you leave or stay seated? When I think about my own experiences, my lifetime, people, in my lifetime, I have had many friends, and I've also lost many friends, but that's life. So when I look at this painting right here, I can relate to it. You know what I mean? I remember my first best friend, his name was Joe. When I was a little lad back in primary school. And Joe, everybody liked Joe. And Joe was my best friend. In school, he was my best friend. And Joe, I always remember Joe. Out of all the children, all my friends from school, Joe was that one boy I remember from school. I remember one day, and this is a 2-in-1 people. This is when I was first introduced to hip hop. And the day mine and Joe friendship ended, people. So one day, Joe got brown hair, people. He's got brown hair, short. And one day he came to school with blonde hair, a white t-shirt, and blue jeans, people. And at that time, it was so, I was like, huh? Why did you dye your hair blonde? Why are you wearing just a big, oversized white t-shirt? And he said, I'm an Eminem fan. So this was the time when Eminem released the Slim Shady album. And the whole world was going mad. White kids were going mad, people. White kids were going mad. Anywho, came to school, blonde hair, white t-shirt, blue jeans, and he was an Eminem stan. That's my friend Joe right there, people. I didn't even know who Eminem was at the time. At that time, I wasn't really into music. Yeah, of course I've listened to music, but I wasn't really into music. I was into cartoons and just going outside and playing with my other friends and the black people. We're going to get to them in a bit. The other friends and the black. At the estates, people. Round the close for kids that grew up at the estates. That grew up in the blacks. So anywho, that's when I discovered Eminem, and that's when I think soon after I told my sister, I said, sis, can you get me the Eminem Marshall Mathers LP, please? And Slipknot. Yes, people had the Slipknot album back then. But anyway, that's how I discovered Eminem and hip hop. But that's a story for another day. But anywho, I'll just give you a bit of context to who Joe was. And Joe, he was a popular kid in school. But in the group at school, it's me, Joe, Max, O, and who else? Jasper. And then anyway, fast forward, that was the group people. We're like thick as thieves, always in the playground together. And then it came to the time when we had to leave school. And I remember that day, because that day everybody went around to each other, made sure everybody's got each other's house number, and we said to one another, yo, stay in contact, let's ring, make sure you ring me, let's meet up. And I remember that day I got everyone's number. I was walking home to my grandma's. I was walking. Remember the days where you could walk home to your grandma's, just walk home. You know what I mean? People, we lost contact that day. Am I sad about it? Nah. But now that I'm older, that's just life. And at that time, we were kids. We're still growing. We've got other priorities, other dreams that we focus on. But I've still got good memories of those particular friends, even though we've lost contact. And that was years ago, people. I don't hate them or anything like that, no. And I don't really wish to see them again, but not in a bad way, like, oh, damn, I wish No, I don't do that. I just appreciate that Joe was the type of kid he would ask his dad if he could have his friends over, and my mom would let me go over as well, and his dad would let us stay up all night if we wanted to. Back then, kids would stay up all night till the goddamn morning, you know. You know, that was Joe. Joe at school. That's one of my friends. But back at the States, I had more friends. There was Jordan. There was Lee. So Jordan lived next door to me. Lee, he lived in the flats above me. No, not Jordan. No, Michael lived next door to me. Jordan lived in the opposite flats. Then it was Adam. He was like 8 doors down. Lee was above me. And there was other kids there, but those are the main. Those are the main three or four. Adam, Lee, Jordan, Michael, and there were some girls that lived across the opposite flats as well. And we all every day after school, we all get together on the field, play games, run to the brook. If you don't know what the brook is, people, it's like the stream. All our parents said, do not go to the stream. People, we went to the stream anyway. Disobeyed the rules, we still went. But you know what? I still have fond memories of all my friends back then. Because when you got a good set of friends, they start shaping your character. You know what I mean? When you got a good set of friends that add to your character, to your qualities, depending on how well they treat you and what they do for you. And then what happened was, one by one, as we got older, one by one, life happens. They started to move. Everyone started to move away. First it was Michael, then it was Jordan, and then it was Lee, and then it was me. That was my group of friends back then. And my next question is, can a friendship still be real if there's no emotional presence? Again, people, when I come online, I just like to chat to myself. When the daily hates, the Sunday services is for me to just get shit off my chest. You know what I mean? Just talking my talk, a stream of consciousness being documented online. For whoever wants to lurk, don't mind. You can slide into the chat if you want to contribute. Friendship ends, life move on, you get older. But next, best friend. Let's say when I get to my teens now. I would say she was the first best friend. I don't think I ever told her. Or maybe she already knew. And her name was Selena. And I miss Selena. Give Selena a round of applause. I would say Selena. I know everyone would say Selena was my first best friend in high school. And I know that she was, and I can say that she was my best friend because you can tell a friend is your friend through their actions. And that's something it's something I've been taught from my grandmother and through my sister and family. It's not always about what they say, it's about what they do. And it's not always about if it's the buying you things. It's not always about the materialistic things. It's about the little things. And with my grandmother, she appreciated the little things more than the elaborate things. And Selena now, and this is how I remember the beginnings of talking to Selena. So I remember I was at school now. I was at school. And I was walking with my two friends at the time. You know what I mean? I was walking with my two friends. And it was break time. It was either break time or lunchtime. And then these three girls, Selena, Terry, what was one? Tash. They walked past and they were giggling. Every time they were walking past giggling. And then one day, I think Selena must have came up to me and said, "Oh, that one likes you, you know." I was like, "Okay then." Okay, I said, "Okay." And that's what I said. I said, "Okay." I didn't really care that much. But anywho, didn't really know Selena like that. So at that time, people, I was hustling. I was doing paper round back then, people. I was getting money back then. I was getting money. I was getting money from 12 years old, people. Getting paper round. Anywho. So I was doing paper round around the ends, and the ends was around school. So I didn't live too far from school. Probably what, 15-minute walk? Not even that. Maybe 10 minutes. Anywho, what I didn't know was I delivered my papers around where Selena lived. And then I think one day she just came out of house and started to come with me on my paper rounds. Mind you, I didn't really know her like that, to be fair. Like, yeah, I saw her in school and this, and we chat every now and again. But I think one day she must have came out and she just walked with me on my paper rounds. And ever since that day, she always walked with me on my paper rounds in the mornings or in the evenings if she saw me. Walk all the way around. We go into the flats. And then one day she got her paper round. So this we're talking through the years, people through the years. And when she got her paper rounds, I will walk with her on her paper rounds, and she'll probably walk with me. Then we get her papers and we walk up and we do her round as well, people, because we're friends like that. So I'm just telling you that was like the beginnings. Like, that's how our friendship formed. And obviously, Selena was like that one person where Selena was silly. And Selena, let me tell you something. I always remember Selena because I based one of my characters on her. Margarine right here. And this character right here, Margarine, was based on Selena. Because Selena, everybody knew, well, I knew that Selena, her head was up in Disneyland. She's one of them girls that was like, when I say she loved Disney, she's very, I would say, naive, but not in a bad way. It's like, Selena, you're silly. But you still loved her, you know what I mean? And she like, her way of thinking was so odd. She was adorable. You know what I mean, people? And Selena was such a kind person. She's never aggy. But I don't know, when it came to man, that was a different story. That's a different story. But for me, I don't think we ever had, there was only one, well, we get to that. But we never had, I think Selena understood, man. You get what I'm saying? And I understood Selena. And Selena was always one of them people where she was open-minded to different interests. Well, from my perspective. One thing I can say, I put her on Tupac. That's one thing I know. I put her on Tupac and Naruto. Selena, you know. And I can know why, because she didn't know who Tupac was until I had that Tupac Resurrection DVD, and Selena, I gave it to you, and ever since that day, you was on Tupac as well. Purpose was just sound a bit strange. But my whole point, people, is Selena was my first best friend as a teen, I would say. And then one day, shit went left because the next friend went to fucked it up. But that's a story for another day, people. ever since then, when we start speaking, when we had that falling out, we never spoke again. I never spoke to her again. Even when I would say some years went by, we kind of reconnected, but it wasn't in the same way. But that's a different story for another day. But despite all of that, I still appreciate and love the friendship that I had with Selena. Even though we don't speak no more, or we haven't spoken for years, I still care for her because she did a lot for me back then. And it weren't a thing of through gifts or anything like that. It was just like her actions, her character. She knew what I was going through. And she was always that person where, damn, when shit got stressful at home, me and Selena would just walk about, go to the cinema, stay outside and just chill, talk all day. I remember one day I went to one church now. I vaguely remember the moment. But anyway, I went to one church, went for the service. It was a Sunday service. Went home and that was it. It's only until months later, someone told me, and this is when I'm older now, people, probably a couple of years ago. Someone told me, do you know that Selena was there? And was she? How come? I'm thinking, raw. If she was there, I didn't even recognize her. And I don't know whether she saw me. Maybe she did, I don't know. But I didn't see her. But if I did see her, I'm not too sure how I reacted, to be fair. I would definitely just went up to her and just said hello, Selena, and hugged her, you know what I mean, people? We ain't seen someone for like a decade. I still have good memories. But again, people, life, innit? You get older. People gotta take their paths, innit? And sometimes people paths just lead in a different direction from yours, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Some paths might intertwine. Some paths just separate. You know what I mean? Here's my next question. How long should you stay loyal to someone who no longer shows up? That's a good one right there. You know what I mean? Loyalty sounds noble. Sounds like you sound like King Arthur. We are taught to wear it like armor. But can you stay loyal to someone who doesn't reciprocate the loyalty back? You know what I mean? What happens when you just keep waiting? Because you expect them to be loyal to you. What you do for them, you expect them to do the same for you. You know what I mean? Have you got those friends who you stay 10 toes down, and after all of that, they didn't even show you the same appreciation, the same effort back towards you? You're still waiting for something in return. You're still waiting for them to reciprocate the same that you did for them. You want them to do that for you. You're holding space for people who stopped holding space for you a long time ago. You know, when you just wait on someone to like, damn, I know this person's a good person. You get what I'm saying? And you know, you say to yourself, you know they're a good person. They don't mean nobody harm. But sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and really look at the situation and the situation and think, hold on. Do they even, everything that you've done for them, have they done that for you? And when you realize, damn, they even done that for you. Do you still keep them as a friend? Is that loyalty? When everything's just one-sided. Like, how long do you stay loyal to someone that don't show up for you? When the last time your best friend said, "How are you?" The friend that you call brother or sister. Something that simple. I feel like now, because we live in like the internet times, the digital times, we got mobile phones. Everyone assumes everything. That's why everybody assumes everything. You think your friend's okay, and then when your friend, something happens, you're like, oh, I didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't ask your friend, how are you? When the last time you asked your friend or your friend said to you, how are you? How are you feeling? Just out the blue. How often did I say it? What kind of friends do you have that don't even ask you, how are you? That's a question. How can you have friends that don't ask you, how are you? Thing with me, Anybody that knows me, I always ask all my friends how they are. God strike me down if I'm lying. Not one of them can come to me and say no. Not one of them. Because I'm that person that always look out for people, always ask like, how you doing? Like, what's going on? How man's feeling? You sure you got you sure you're mental stable? I'm that person that asks them things, the little things, because the little things matter. Them little things matter to people because, again, like I said, when the last time someone, not even just your friend, said, "Oh, how are you? Are you feeling okay? Are you okay?" Shouldn't that be like a regular question every single day? Why do we assume that your friends are okay? How do you not know if your friend is okay, is not okay? And that's why I say, like, friendship now, it's not just what they brought for you, this and that. It's the little things like the actions. Like a good friend, if they haven't heard from you for 1 week, they will text you, "Yo, are you okay?" Or do you have friends where when shit goes really bad and everybody knows about it, that's where they pop off? The unaware friends. Me, I don't ask much from friends. I don't have a high expectation when it comes to friends. Meaning, I don't want no gifts, really, unless, again, I'm not asking you to buy me nothing. I'm just, I just expect if you're gonna be my friend to be 10 toes down with me. And being 10 toes down with me is just, yo, just checking in. That's all I need from my friends. Just check in. I don't ask my friends for no money. And if I do, man gonna work for that money. You know what I mean? I don't ask my friends to come see me see me all the time. I don't ask my friends for gifts. But the least, the bare minimum is checking in. And yeah, people got their lives, people. As you get older, people's journeys take them to different directions. Their friendship groups evolve. Your friendship groups evolve or decrease. It is what it is. life happens and everybody gets busy. But because life just gets busy, is that an excuse to not check in with your friends? You know what I mean? I'm definitely checking in if I call you my brother or my sister. You know, those type of friends. But that title is deep though, people. You know, when you have a friend that's not blood related, but they're like family to you. But let me look at a different perspective. Why do people keep calling you family while treating you like an afterthought? Like fam, calling your friend a fam or whatever, your friend calls you fam or bro or your sister, those words right there. Brother, fam, sister are the most overused words in relationships. It sounds deep. It's deep, people. But it's cheap if it's not backed by actions. Do you have those family friends where you refer to them as auntie, uncle, or that's the brother, and you know that's not blood related, but because that person has had an impact on your family, not through their actions, they earn that title. You get what I'm saying? You understand why they earn that title because of their character, how they checked in with your family and showed up. That's why you call them uncle, auntie, this and that. And you treat them like that as well. You get me? You treat them like, oh, that is actually your uncle or auntie. You check in with them as well. It's not just a one-way street. It's two ways. You get what I'm saying, people? But again, I said it's cheap if it's not backed by actions. If you're just giving them that title, real families show up. Because sometimes your own family don't show up. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes your own family show up, but that one friend right there that was 10 toes down with you, they showing up, so you consider them as a brother or a sister, or that's your uncle. You get what I'm saying, people? Real family checks in. You get what I'm saying? My next question, people. Have you ever stayed in a friendship just to avoid being alone? People, I'm just rambling on, Freestyle. Everybody?
Hello,
Okay, keep that loud. Have you ever stayed in a friendship just to avoid being alone, people? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you, people? I said, have you ever stayed in a friendship just to avoid being alone? I know people out there that, you know, when you just, I've had experiences with some friends where they're good people, they're your friends, but you're at that point where you're just two different people. You get what I'm saying? Your personalities are different. You didn't say your personality, you say your goals are different. They're moving on with their lives. And you're just there. You don't really want to make new friends. But the friendship you're in at the moment, it ain't the same no more. You don't treat each other as friends. It's almost like you gotta book time with them. Is that friendship where you gotta book time to see your friend because you're lonely? Is it even healthy to stay in a friendship where it's not evolving, but you don't want to let go because you're scared to be on your own because you don't think you're going to make more friends, or you don't think you're going to make more connections? It's almost like a relationship. You're stopping with a woman, or you're a woman stopping with a man, and you know the romance is gone, but you're just there together because you probably won't find other people. There's people out there that's in friendships the same way, where you know what I mean? Does friendships have seasons? Or do we just fail to evolve together? That's a good one right there. When you're young, like a kid, you're like Peter Pan, you know what I mean? We like to think we like to. Yeah, that's my trailer of thought. We like to believe every connection is meant to last forever. Like every friend we encounter is gonna last forever. I just went through. I told you, Joe, Selena. I thought those connections were gonna last forever. But growth changes people. You just get older. Life happens. Priorities shift. Your values sharpen and evolve. Sometimes no one does anything wrong. You get what I'm saying? Because just because you lose a connection doesn't mean it's not always a bad thing. It's not always a case of you could have done this or they could have done that. Because at the end of the day, if they really wanted that connection, they'd be just 10 toes down with you. It's shown through actions, not shown through... Like, again, I told you, when the last time your friend said, "How are you?" Just cause. And that would let you know why it is. The one kind of friends I don't like are the ones... I don't like conditional friends. You know what I mean? Friends that have conditions on their friendships. The one that use emotional debt towards you. Friend, family, you get what, whoever. I'm talking about the ones that for me, let's put it this way. For me, I don't fucks with people who use what they done in the friendship against you. I don't fuck with that kind of shit right there. But I can understand the perspective. But I don't fucks with that kind of shit. Excuse my French. And the reason why is how I see it. You've been wanting to say that. And if you didn't want to do those things, why did you do them? You didn't have to. You didn't have to do those things. You get what I'm saying? So when people I call it emotional debt. Because when people bring up the things that they did for you, they're guilt tripping you. They're using those things to justify why you didn't do this or why they didn't do that for you. You get what I'm saying? And to me, that's like your friend holding you emotionally hostage. Because me, I never done that. No, I don't say none of that kind of shit to my friends, to nobody, friends or family. I'm the type of person, if, for example, if I'm going to give you, I give you money just to give you money. And I don't want it back. If I'm going to give you money, if you ask for money, I'm just give you the money. Ain't no loan, just here's the money. Or there's been times I just give money to people, there you go. I have never once, years later or anything like that, gone back to no friend and go, "Oh, you remember when I let you this or did this for you?" Never. because when I do things for my friends, it's on the strength, people. When I do shit for my friends, it's on the strength. If I'm gonna give someone money, give them money. I don't need it back. If you're gonna pay me back, cool, pay me back, innit? But I've never went to any of my friends or anybody and go, oh, I remember when I did this, I did that for you, did this, boom, boom, boom. Nah. I don't even care what the situation is. For me, my principle is nah. I want built like that. I want built to. Because if you didn't want to do it, just don't do it. Don't do things that for someone that you're gonna use against them. Even you might even be in the right, but for me, it's I go on the strength of you know what I done for you. I don't need to say it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need to say what I've done for you because you know what I've done for you. Have you got amnesia? And I don't feel like I need to announce the things that I've done for friends to anybody because I don't get no strikes after anything like that. People know. So, as I was saying, I don't F's with people. I think once a friend uses emotional debts, that's what I call it. I think that for me right there is like depending on the not even depending on the situation. It doesn't really matter what the situation is. It doesn't have to be like a bad situation. But once someone does that, to me it's like, yeah, we when it comes to like the values and the morals and the principles and the honor, I'm not built like that. I don't do them. I don't do them things. I don't say them kind of things to my friends or people anyway. Like if I'm gonna do something for you, I'm gonna do something for you. Because that's what friendship is. You just do. You get what I'm saying? You don't need to bring up what I've done for you. I think once someone says that, they'd be meaning to say that because maybe from their perspective is you haven't done enough for a friend. So I guess there was expectation you had to live up to. But when it comes to me now, people, I don't have expectations. I don't have expectation when it comes to a friend. I just expect you to be you. And get me? I expect the minimum like hello and goodbye. How are you? We all got lives. We all got shit to do. Oh shit, we got people. We got Vash Anderson in the chat. What's going on, Vash?
I don't give a fuck.
We're talking about friendship, Vash. You know what I mean? And some friends, again, life just happens. Everybody gets older. Everybody got all their things going on. People move, people separate. But then one day, my sister was like, if they're your friends, they're your friends. My sister always said things like that throughout the years. because I see how her and her friends operate. My grandmother used to say the same kind of things as well. And again, sometimes friendship ends not out of like no malice or spite. Like I said, life just happens. But then there's a question like, if they're your friends, that they're really 10 toes down with you, why did they or you let go of the connection? If you're really friends, if that's really your brother or your sister and they treat you like your brother or sister, why did you or why did they let go of the connection? Why? Like, I know that sometimes shit happens. You don't speak to your friend for a year or two, and there was no problem or anything like that, and you see them again, and everything's so cool. But if it's your brother now, or your sister now, I'm talking about that friend that you call brother and sister now, how do you not talk to your brother or sister for 1 or 2 years? I know that there's different levels of friendship, but you know what I'm talking about. The friend that's your friend. Because I got a lot of friends, meaning I've got acquaintances and then I got close friends. But my question is, I think it's simple. My question is, and going back to one of my previous questions, when the last time your friend asked you, text you, how are you? And how often do your friends ask you, are you okay? Or how are you? Just because? And then know that you're okay, but they're asking you if you're okay. Not saying you gotta speak to your friends all the time, but there's friends out there that speak to friends every single day. And obviously everybody's different. Everybody's friendship group's different. But I think it gets to a point in life now. I think when you get older, you gotta question your friendship groups. When it gets to a particular point, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. What you're saying, Vash? People evolve over time, and usually people become more distant the longer they're separated. Even if you're their friend or close family, it happens a lot. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. Some people distance themselves. So Vash said some people distance themselves on purpose because they realize they can only handle people in small doses. Yeah. And sometimes, I was going to say this as well, Vash and everyone. Sometimes it takes a certain situation. Sometimes it takes when you're at your bottom, when you're at rock bottom, when you hit rock bottom, those times right there reveal who your friends are. Would you agree? When you're at your lowest, That right there will determine who your friends are. Once you really sunken deep into the darkness, to the abyss, people. Once you reach that lowest of lows, that will let you know who your friends are when you've re-emerged, when you climbed out of it, when you climbed out of that darkness and you look around. That moment there is a revelation, a realization of who your friends are, who was 10 toes down with you. And people, I've been rock bottom at almost hitting my head off the bottom, people. Let's put it that way. In the darkness. I've been in the darkest of darkness, people. You get me? But someone reached out. And this is why I got this picture right here, people. Because as I emerge at the darkness, I stood right there, people, and looked upon the world. Alone. Strong. No cap. No cap. I believe it takes when you hit rock, when you almost hit rock bottom, when you're in the darkness, when you're really in a realm of, am I gonna get out of this, of no return, that will let you know who's your friends are, who's really down with you. What are you saying? Rock bottom. This is Vash. Rock bottom shows you who really care 100%, but also shows you when you need personal growth to be able to maintain a friendship. Because sometimes you can push people away and not realize it. I agree with that as well. A lot can happen, but definitely friends will always be there to try and support if they're your friends. And I also say on that as well, from another perspective, if they're your friends, I believe and this is not for every situation, but if they're your friends, your situation shouldn't get that far. You get what I'm saying? Because if you know your friends, you know your friends' mannerisms. You know how your friends stay. And again, like I was saying earlier, Vash, I was saying, when was the last time like your friend just said, how are you? And I was saying maybe because we're in the times of the internet. Because before, don't forget, before when everybody had dial phones, press button phones, landlines, you couldn't wait to ring somebody, or when the phone was ringing, you couldn't wait to get to the phone and pick it up and see who it was. You get what I'm saying? Back then, I remember times where your friends would ring you or your friends would come often to your house. But now we're living in times where your friends just assume you're okay and everything's all good. And then it takes for you to be in a mental home for them to be like, oh shit, I didn't know. You get what I'm saying? And I think to myself, it shouldn't even get that, if they're your friends, it shouldn't even get to that point where you're that deep in the darkness. They're there. Or they just noticed. But then again, everybody's got their lives. It seems like everybody's so busy with their lives. I guess nobody notices what's going on around them or with their friends. You know, just here thinking to myself, people, talking out loud. So Rash says, I have a small group of work friends. We talk almost every day while we are working. And sometimes if something happens, but usually, unless it's something important, we are absorbed with family. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. But friendships have changed since days of being a school kid. They're more mature now. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. When you get older, your interests. Sometimes you have friends where they're your friends. They're good people. They're being good to you. And I said it earlier on the stream. Your personalities change, meaning that your interest in things change. You get what I'm saying? You don't have the same interest. You don't relate the same way anymore. And sometimes things like that end a friendship. Well, end the friendship. Not in a bad way. Like you just start. You start gravitating towards people who share the same interest. You start talking more to those. You get what I'm saying? You, they, it is what it is. I hear that. Now, unless it's something going on like wrecks or dangerous things, we call and warn one another, but we're usually distant. But we have one another's back if we need help. Let me ask you, because does your friendships, how many of your friends, does your friendship change when you start to have kids? How has your friendship changed, your friendships? Do you have a friend pre-kids that's still there with you now, that's still a friend to you now, pre-kids? And if you... Yeah, that makes sense, Vash. Do you have a friend pre-family? And is that friend still... Are you still close with that friend now? That's the question. Like, if we move in family and need help working on vehicles or hunting, we help when we can, if we ask, or if we offer assistance. So the question was, Vash, do you have a friend that's with you pre-family, and are you still close with them now? And where would you say, from your experience, what was the turning point of the distance? Where would you pinpoint where the friendship started to get distant? Was it when you started having family, or was it pre that? Or yeah, if you get what I'm saying. So you said, well, I had made some life choices where I've distanced myself from everyone and everything at one time. But before that, I had gone and reconnected with child friends to visit, because it's been over 20 years. Well, let's go to that. So what you're saying, we were the same, just older, and had grown in many different ways. But to our core, we were the same people, just more matured. Yeah, I get that. Vash Anderson, from your interpretation, when you look upon this picture right here, what do you see? What's your interpretation of this picture? So then after I started my relationship, I didn't... Oh, I get that, yeah. When your future wife comes along, things change, people, things change. And when you become a husband, you have to be the head of the household. What, protect and provide, as they say. So your priorities are focused on your family, making sure your kids get through to school, your wife is okay, you got a roof over your head, and everybody's safe, people. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Would you call father? So Vash goes, cause working full time and then only have a short time for rest and personal life, it becomes harder to balance friendships with family and work. Yeah, man. People, you call that adulting. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So become more focused on your family rest and personal health and maintaining a good balance. I would say, I was going to ask, do you have friends? But then I thought, once you have a family, your family becomes your friend, right? Is that fair to say, Vash? Like, you got friends, but you don't necessarily talk to them like that. But now, it's almost like your family becomes your new friend, your new set of friends. You know what I mean? You got a new set of personalities there where... But it's different for everyone. There's, you know what I mean? It's different for everyone. Yeah, man. It's cause I know. It's like that with my family. Like the family, everybody's got their friends. Like there's everybody's got their friends, but because you see your family so often, they become your friends, or because you hang around with them so often. Some people, some people like that situation. Some people are comfortable in that situation. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some people where they're still in contact with their friends where they need, okay, I need a break from my family. I can't have, you know what I mean? I can't talk to my family all the time. And in the beginning of the stream, as I said, at the end of the day, if you want that connection with that person, you can still hold on to connection, but that depends if the other person is willing to stay connected at the end of the day. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do as a friend. And obviously I'm talking from another perspective where you got one perspective where everyone's just busy. Then there's another perspective where no one's that busy to make time for you. You get what I'm saying? And that applies to everyone. Because I always say no one's that busy. If they want to make time for you, they make time for you. But and you know what? That's my measure of who your friends are. But I don't take it to heart. Meaning that, yeah, you can have some friends where they're busy with their family life. They don't have time to talk to you, and it is what it is. They're not being spiteful or being horrible. It's just that's how it is, man. They gotta focus on what they gotta do. But then you could say the other perspective is this still can drop you a text and say, how are you? What's going on? That's another perspective right there. But I think my point is, if someone don't want to keep in touch with you, it's not necessarily always a bad thing. And again, like I said, like if they wanted to stay in touch with you, they can if they wanted to. We don't live in the dark ages where you gotta send a letter through a flipping horse and carriage. You know what I mean? Everybody's got phones. Everybody's got everybody's number, and it's mad like everybody's got everyone's phone number, you know. Email address. Yet we're still distant. We're still distant with everybody. It's making me think now. Because like I said, Mr. Vash, you and I remember a time before the internet started to kick off like that, where we still had to call people, send letters, the analog days. I would say connections back then were, it's almost, are we taking like friendships now for granted? Our friendships so easily lost and they fade away because we don't value friendships like we used to. It's making me think now, Vash, because I'm thinking like back then, it was more. It's like with anything else back then. It's like if you didn't talk to I would assume you met your wife before the internet was kicking off and all of that. I would say, you know what I mean, Vash. But there was a time where if you saw a woman, if a man saw a woman, you had to talk to that woman right then and there to get her number or whatever. Because if you didn't get the number, you're not seeing that woman ever again. And she might even live in the same area. So back then, creating connections were a bit more, well, I say more, had way more value, because once you connect with someone you liked, you want to keep in touch with them. So you already had their number, and then the MSN. But now that everything's all accessible, we got to a point where you don't even say how are you to your friend, because you assume your friend's okay. But just saying that how are you can change the whole dynamic of that person's day. But because we got the phone there, we probably see them pop up online on Instagram or whatever. We just assume, oh, they're okay. Or because you see them post up, you don't bother chat. You know what I mean? We're in some, I think we're like in a weird time where so what you saying? We met at our house party. Woo! Was he playing 3-6 Mafia? Yeah, and definitely COVID's lockdown period definitely has changed people's mentalities since then. Nothing has been the same since lockdown. Nothing has been the same. People's mentalities that's the pinpoint when people's mentalities changed. I think, yeah, definitely people way more. Yeah, people definitely way more antisocial. They're being like from dating perspective. You always hear the saying that young adults are way more depressed and single because nobody can't communicate with one another properly, and because of these dating apps, the accessibility, the access to whoever, to any person is that easy. We lost that human connection of appreciating that person, because now it's like, oh, if I don't like that person, just swipe right, I just block them. There's these 10 other people I can talk to. Whereas before, you had to hold on to that connection or you worked more for that connection. You didn't have the internet like that. You didn't know what they were doing. You had to ring them. You know what I mean? You had to ring them, send a letter, whatever. I remember a time where I used to send letters to friends. Bloody yeah, we're talking long ago. And when you got that letter from your friend, you was happy. Or that call from that friend. Or the knock on the door. We have taken those friendship values for granted. I think. You know what I mean? But yeah, people, thank you, Vash, for joining me. I'm going to close up in a bit. Thank you. I need to release my schedule tomorrow. But thanks, Vash, for calling through. Every Sunday, I go live every single day, Vash. by the way. So every morning, in my morning from 8 a.m. GMT, so that would probably be like, I don't know, probably midnight, maybe 2 o'clock. I don't even know. Probably 2 in the morning for you, that. But every day from 8 a.m. GMT onwards, I'm going live with pop culture headlines. So recapping the latest news. And then I'm going to try to go live in the evenings as well. So around these times as well, 8 p.m. GMT onwards, I'll be going live in the evenings. Well, I try to go live in the evenings, yeah. But yeah, people, that's the end of that stream. The stream ends, Sunday service. Thank you, Vash. Vash is a long time hateful citizen. Been with the channel for what? Goddamn 3 years, you know. Yep. So, salute to Vash. Also, people, where is it? Let's go on. Since Vash. Here it is. Everybody go check out Vash Anderson's YouTube channel. Subscribe, please. Support. At least he's got 499 subs. Come on, at least one person. If you like 8-ball porn, because I play 8-ball porn on my channel. Mike, I think I need a new capture card because people, I need to get a new capture. I won't be able to play 8-ball porn because my capture card is not capturing. God damn it. So that's annoying. Anywho, if you're into 8-ball porn gameplay, go support Vash over here, please. Make that 500, so at least one person go over and make that 500 right there, people. Go crazy for Vash. There you go, people. There you go. Anyway, people, that was it. End of Sunday service. When friendships quietly fade, do you leave or stay seated? Anyone can answer that question in the time of this recording. Don't forget to hit that like, hit that sub. And again, people, I like to just come online and just have a little ramble, rant, get my thoughts out. And then usually what I do is play it back, listen to what I've said, listen to what I was rambling about, and I make sense of it, turn it into a goddamn video. You get what I'm saying, people? I'm a genius like that. Yeah. And also, I need to start finessing the channel as well. I need to start finessing the channel. I'm making little changes bit by bit. Because I'm only one man right now. Only one man. So I'm making changes bit by bit. So in the upcoming weeks, everybody's gonna start noticing little changes and what's changes on the channel. And within the content's still gonna remain the same. I'm still gonna be doing confession, pop culture, WTFs, gameplay, and ranting. All that's still gonna be there, but you're gonna start seeing little changes bit by bit. You get what I'm saying, people? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah!
Toot the horn. Anyway, people, thank you for stopping by. And you know what? Let's finish up. Don't forget, join Hate TV, and let's finish up with the anthem, people. Have a grand day, afternoon, or evening. See you in a bit, everybody. See you tomorrow, man. Okay.
You hate on a nigga. I don't understand why you hate on me, nigga.
We don't understand.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing
nigga.
is getting money.
I me said the devil is alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Then my hate pa me, turn snake pa me, and they do me like Jesus Christ. Then my hate pa me, turn snake pa me, I me said the devil is alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Then my hate pa me, turn snake pa me, and they do me like Jesus Christ. Them a hate pa me, them a hate, them a hate, them a hate.
Tell your friends about me.